Sophie Cunningham's injury scared everybody half to death, man.
So Sophie Cunningham went down with what did not look like the greatest injury.
What happens when your team's spark plug goes down right before a crucial stretch of the season? Stephanie White just revealed a shocking update about Sophie Cunningham's injury, and it's not what fans were expecting. Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White recently dropped an eye-opening update regarding forward Sophie Cunningham's ankle injury, and it's safe to say the implications go far beyond a simple sprain.
It's going to be a day-to-day thing, just seeing how she recovers. Just a day-to-day. I'll depend on our training staff to tell me what she's capable of doing every day, and we'll see how it goes.
What was initially brushed off as a minor setback quickly spiraled into a multi-layered concern for a team already trying to build chemistry during the preseason. Cunningham, known more for her grit and energy than her box score contributions, suffered the injury after landing awkwardly on Ryan Howard's foot during a contested rebound. While ankle injuries are common in basketball, the ripple effect of this particular incident feels unusually significant. Sophie's role, more than just numbers. To understand why Coach White's update is stirring waves, one has to understand Cunningham's role on the Fever roster. She's not the top scorer, she's not the flashiest passer, but she is, undoubtedly, the emotional and physical spark plug of the team.
Let's talk to this game. Number one, the starters for Indiana were okay, right? We ended up seeing a change in the starting lineup. We saw Sophie Cunningham get the starting nod. However, Sophie Cunningham had to go out of the game. I forgot what half that was, if that was in the first half or the second half.
Her toughness, vocal leadership, and ability to set the tone physically make her a crucial piece of Indiana's identity. In a league increasingly dominated by finesse, Sophie brings the fire. She chases loose balls like they're gold, takes charges with a roar, and ensures no opposing player ever feels too comfortable. She is, in essence, the Fever's enforcer, the player whose presence shifts the emotional temperature of the game. The injury, a tipping point. When the injury occurred, there was initial hope that Cunningham would bounce back, just like she always does. But as the minutes ticked by and the trainers began their work, it became apparent this wasn't going to be a quick patch-up job. Cunningham was visibly in pain, eventually leaving the bench for further evaluation and not returning to the game.
Sophie Cunningham was coming down. She was in the air, coming down. She ended up rolling her ankle on Ryan Howard's foot. She went out of the game, was on the bench for a little while, and I believe she went to the locker room, but she did not return back.
Coach White's post-game update acknowledged the seriousness of the situation. Not in a panic-driven way, but with a clear recognition of the hole Cunningham's absence creates. It's not just about rotations or scoring adjustments. It's about filling a void of attitude, leadership, and raw intensity. Leadership by energy. Sophie Cunningham isn't the face of the franchise. That title belongs to Caitlin Clark, but she is the engine that keeps things running. The energy she brings, both in games and in practice, raises the level of play for everyone around her. She doesn't just compete, she elevates. In her absence, the Fever lose more than a body on the court. They lose the player who barks out defensive switches, keeps morale high during rough patches, and isn't afraid to stand toe-to-toe with anyone who disrespects the jersey. Coach White made it clear, Sophie's absence is felt in every aspect of the game, even the ones that don't make the highlight reel.
Now at that moment, everybody was scared in the live stream, man. I was holding my breath, my face was fixed a certain way that looked crazy. I mean, we were scared in there, okay? Now, the main thing is, yes, she twisted her ankle, okay? And she was out for the rest of the game.
Tactical adjustments and emotional gaps. As Coach White put it, preseason is the time to experiment, and Sophie's injury forces Indiana's hand. Lineups will shift. Bench production becomes more critical. Someone will have to attempt to match Sophie's impact, even if only in fragments. However, replacing Cunningham isn't as simple as swapping in another player. Her influence isn't built into schemes or stats. It's embedded in the team's heartbeat. Without her, the Fever must navigate a delicate balance between maintaining their edge and compensating for what can't be replicated. White spoke candidly about the options moving forward. They'll tinker with lineups, they'll explore different combinations of starters and bench energy, but there was no sugarcoating it. Sophie's presence is unique.
Yeah, just giving a different kind of look and seeing what what we might be able to do from that standpoint with Sophie's energy in the starting lineup and with DB's production coming off the bench. So, we'll probably continue throughout the course of the week tinkering a little bit. But, preseason gives us a good opportunity to see what we like, because it's important to have a good starting group and it's important to have energy and production off the bench.
Sophie's response, no time for pity. If there's one person not wallowing in disappointment, it's Sophie Cunningham herself. According to Coach White, the moment she hit the locker room, she wasn't focused on pain. She was focused on recovery. Rehab, for her, isn't just about healing. It's a mission, a challenge, another battle to win. Anyone familiar with Sophie's career knows this isn't her first setback, and history suggests she'll return not just healthy, but even more determined.
That's a positive thing. She was like trying to see if she could get back in the game. Obviously, they're not dumb. They're not going to put her back into a preseason game. But she was trying to get back into the game, which is big. If we're honest, that is genuinely big.
Her mindset isn't about waiting to get back on the court. It's about preparing to return better, stronger, and more impactful than ever. She's already making her presence felt off the court, supporting teammates, staying engaged, and keeping the competitive spirit alive from the sidelines. For the Fever, that kind of commitment sends a powerful message. Sophie may be temporarily sidelined, but she's far from gone. An X factor you can't measure. There are players who impact games with flashy plays and buzzer-beating shots. Then there are those like Sophie Cunningham, players whose influence is woven into the very fabric of team culture. She's been labeled a glue player, but that term might undersell her significance. She's more like a stabilizer, absorbing pressure and chaos to allow her teammates to shine. Watching Indiana play without her is like hearing a song missing its bass line. The melody remains, but something critical feels off. With stars like Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston drawing attention with their scoring and playmaking, Cunningham does the stuff in the margins, the kind of intangible work that transforms potential into wins. The road ahead, opportunity and urgency. While Sophie's absence has undoubtedly shaken up the Fever's preseason plans, it also presents an opportunity for others to step up. Whether it's an emerging bench player seizing the moment or a starter tapping into new leadership energy, the situation calls for collective growth.
But she is okay, all right? It did look like it could have been something worse because of how she landed, and it was like more so of an Achilles looking stretch instead of a twisted sideways foot. So that's what scared, that's what scared me. But nonetheless, man, it came out that it was a twisted ankle and she was okay, and she was just gonna sit out for the rest of the game.
Coach White emphasized that while there's no panic, there's a clear urgency. The team must continue evolving, adjusting its approach and embracing the challenge. Because make no mistake, while Sophie heals, Indiana still has a season to prepare for and expectations to meet. The return will be personal. Cunningham's return, whenever it comes, won't be a quiet one. She's not the type to ease her way back in. She'll come back ready to remind everyone why her absence was so deeply felt. Every minute of missed action is likely fueling her competitive fire. And when she does return, it won't just be business as usual, it'll be personal. For now, the Fever will battle on. They'll lean on their stars, test their depth, and keep fighting for chemistry in her absence. But make no mistake, when Sophie Cunningham returns, she's not just rejoining the squad, she's reigniting its identity. What do you think this means for the team's future? Will Sophie make a full comeback this season? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the update, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a breaking story.